Denise Deloach, 5th grade. I'm self-contained. The lesson was on writing narratives, creating an ending to a narrative, and this is from the Alabama Course of Study, Objective 7, Composing Text. Engage was something that we did previously. We had already asked about if they knew what comic strips were, if they had any favorite comic strips. My Explore, we used the newspaper, and we also used the website gocomics.com to look at different types of comic strips. We also talked about different types of comic strips, like political, for example. They may not have really known what it meant to have a political comic strip. Explain, just kind of talked about what comic strips were. They were short stories. They were little narratives, and how they sequenced. My Extend, we used the lesson kind of as a springboard to go on into narrative writing and to eventually let them be able to write their own story just by looking at the little panels from the comics. And the Evaluate part, just making sure that their comics flowed from one panel to the next and that things were sequenced and the stories made sense. Preparation is just like letting them look at comics previously. We talked about narratives, we discussed some narratives, showed narratives, and matched them kind of with the comic strips just to make them understand that the comic strips really are short stories. I think they were trying just to do anything on the comic instead of really trying to make the story flow from one panel to the next. They just wanted to create anything and not really thinking about how the story went from beginning, middle to the end. We use sequencing and we use drawing conclusions. Actually, we're talking about drawing conclusions this week, so that helped them to really understand how to create an ending to their story. One thing they had to ask all the time, does it make sense? When I was asking them if we're talking about dogs and cats at the beginning, we shouldn't come out talking about hot dogs and chocolate at the end. So does it make sense? Does it flow? Is it repeating, or is it continuing with the flow of the story from beginning to end? My favorite part is just seeing them and their creativity, thinking about what they can do on their own, how creative they're going to be, and the ending to their stories was very exciting. If you're going to show comics, make sure you preview them and make sure they're appropriate for the grade level. Just try it. I may have been a little apprehensive, but the children are going to love it.